Inside EKU Sports. Brought to you by Jimmy John's. Order Jimmy John's sandwich delivery today. Jimmy John's, freaky fast, freaky fresh. Welcome to Inside EKU Sports. Spring is around the corner, but baseball is already here, and the EKU baseball team gets a tough start on the road. Tough in the sense, Edwin Thompson, the head coach of EKU, that you played this week. 4 games at Arizona, runner-up in the College World Series last year. Good way to start.
Yeah, it's a great way to start. It's good scheduling, I think, on my part. But it also gives us a chance to kind of test ourselves on the road against a great opponent and great atmosphere to really to kind of see where we're at early on. I think that's a good thing to do with our club coming out, from a little bit different weather climate.
Really nice recruiting class and some holes offensively to fill. Mandy Alvarez now playing in single A ball. Kyle Nallen drafted as well. And those two guys had high offensive numbers. So how do you replace them?
Well, first off, you don't. You can't replace players of that caliber, 2 of the best to come through our program history. We try to just add things that they may be lacking. So we added some speed, add a little bit of a dynamic offensive play, which hopefully will impact us over the course of the year. But we can't replace those 2 guys and the other guys we lost as well.
You had 2 of your starting pitchers returning, but I know as you go into this season, you look for a rotation. When do you start settling in on who are going to be my weekend starters and who are you going to throw in the midweek games?
Well, we have Eric Nerl. He's back, senior, 5th-year senior. I think he's been steady for us. Him last year had a good record for us. Alex Hamilton will be in the mix for that. Then, really we have 15 non-conference games to kind of figure that out. I think that's a great thing about non-conference until we start conference play. So we'll kind of see who emerges. We have 4 new guys, that I think can help us out, and Max Ford, Jack Picos, Aaron Oceanbaum, who's coming off an injury, and Casey Collins, all kind of be in the mix to start on the weekend.
So we had some in EKU baseball last year, some good offensive numbers, as we've talked about. You said speed. You want to focus on defense. Your team was pretty good defensively. You want to shore up that pitching to kind of get the team balanced, right? It's kind of what I'm sensing from you.
Yeah, we lost 20 games by 3 runs or less. So first year, we kind of really wanted to make sure we're competing in every single game, but we kind of just ran out lack of depth. We didn't have enough depth in the back end of the bullpen, but also just in our positional players to give them some days off here and there. So that was something that I think we've addressed. Now we have 2 guys per position. We've added some pitching depth to give us that strength and hopefully, be a little more, instead of one-dimensional, be a little more dynamic on offense.
31 games at home this year. New stadium, completion happening as we speak, as you hit the road to begin 4 at Arizona and then 1 at U of L, also nationally ranked in the top 10. The first few games are going to be played at Whitaker Bank Ballpark as they complete the EKU Stadium, Earl Combs Stadium at Turkey Hughes Field. But what does that mean to this program to have a facility that catches up with other programs?
Well, there's nothing about Eastern that's mediocre, and I think our baseball program has had great tradition, and this kind of puts a stamp on it and kind of seals the deal as far as now we can compete from a facility standpoint with other people in our region, in our league from a recruiting standpoint, but also give our fans the experience that they deserve, and I think that's something that they'll definitely enjoy. The amenities of having concession stands and nice bathrooms and chairback seats, but also gives us a chance from a recruiting standpoint to say, hey, now we have the great tradition, we have great amenities to add to help your player development, which I think is going to be beneficial, and then have so many home games. That really is what I wanted to do. I want 31 home games. I want our fans to be able to come out and to be close and have a great atmosphere with our students, which we had last year. We created that, but I'm really excited to kind of see on a daily basis to play as many home games we are.
And it's nice to see on the schedule, Western, U of L, and UT are all on your home schedule.
Yeah, fortunate. To play the quote bigger teams. I think that's a goal of ours in our program history. We want to bring Louisville in, Tennessee to come in, which is rare for having an SEC team on the road to come play at our park. And obviously, starting to renew the rivalry with Western. That's something that the coach and I started. So we play home and home every year. That's really important for our fans and also for our student body.
So, tough start with 5 games against top 10 teams, but a big home schedule. What's the key to being a baseball team that shows improvement this year and what you want, Coach Thompson?
Well, I think, last year at 24-31, as I mentioned, we were kind of tied for 6th going to last weekend in our OVC play. I just want to improve. We want to be able to establish ourselves, be a team that's in the top or the middle of the pack. In order to do that, we got to pitch well and play good defense. I think that's going to be the key for us, and how some of the new guys offensively step up, and then guys that have been playing for a while go go from complementary players to impact players. And I think that's going to be the interesting dynamic. We have 12 seniors that are very veteran on both sides of the baseball, offensively and defensively, to help us. But so how some of these new guys kind of come in and help us pitching, and some of the positional players, how they impact us, we'll kind of see out our fate.
All right, first pitch this week out in Tucson, Arizona. Good luck against the Arizona Wildcats.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, Edwin Thompson, head baseball coach here at Eastern Kentucky. And don't forget those first 3 home games, just the first 3. That series against Oakland University will be at Whitaker Bank Ballpark in Lexington. That's February 24th through the 26th. Then the rest of the games, fingers crossed, will be at the new Earl Combs Stadium at Turkey Hughes Field. More on Inside EKU Sports after this.
You don't put lighter fluid on a guy's grill, do you? He's about to set himself on fire.
Whoa.
Pretty fast.
Bam.
Have mercy. Guess I'm loving you.
Jimmy John's.
Ready on 2. 2's up.
The Video 2 program, class taught by Dr. John Taylor here on campus, is essentially the broadcast crew for athletics to help get our games out on the OVC Digital Network.
The OVC had money that we'd gotten from the NCAA tournaments. So they bought the same equipment for each of the universities. So we'd all have the same quality when we're on the air. The athletic department came over to the communication department and said, could you use this and could you show our people how to use it?
The Video 2 class is unique because instead of just learning about what goes on in the field, you actually put yourself in the field and apply those concepts you learned in the class.
Way to be where you need to be, Mark. Way to be where you need to be. Nice shot.
Here you're shooting, you're directing, you have to know how to white balance your camera. You got to be ready to follow the action. Here they get something that you really can't get anywhere else.
You really get a hands-on feel to what it'll be like once we graduate. You're getting out cameras, running cables.
The class has been doing it since 2012. I was a part of that first class. That's when the OVC Digital Network became what it is today.
After David graduated, I had, of the crew, 3 went immediately into directing and producing.
I watched the OVC Digital Network evolve here at Eastern from literally 3 locked-down cameras to now what you see on TV. We continually try to upgrade. This year we recently added a 4th camera that's wireless. They do a great job. We go position from position, like everybody will at least do one position once.
EKU is a smaller university. It does allow you to get more of a chance to be seen and be heard and get your work recognized by your peers and mentors.
There it is. 3's up. Nice shot, Gage. Good job, man. That's what I'm talking about.
Almost every game, regardless of the game, I always kick off the game through pregame and the starting lineups, and then we find a good point in the game where I turn it over to a student.
There it is. Ready 3, taking 3.
It was very fun because you get to connect with people throughout the athletic department who they can eventually get or be your reference to jobs out in the future.
And the nervous part that most of the students have is that it's up on the big scoreboard over here. And if you make a mistake, everybody gets to see it.
In a live environment, there's little room for mistakes, and so that's always on your mind. But I feel like it helps you to not make mistakes.
I'm proud of the work that our students do here. We rank in the top 4 as far as viewership numbers for the OVC Digital Network, so the one that speaks to our fan base, but they come back and they watch a great production put on by students who are learning.
I've been around long enough that I've seen our students go up and be successful, and then they take in our students and they co-op with them.
I do my best with them, and I hope that they take this as a good learning experience, and it puts them ahead of the game when it comes to legit hands-on experience.
Just take the opportunity, it's here, you're on campus.
There it is, good job. That's what I'm talking about right there. Good job, man.
Every day is a concept that few people can commit to. Every day requires a level of dedication that forces you to test your limits.
Every day I'll give back to the community because I draw strength from their support. Every day the sounds of your cheers will echo through my mind. Knowing that you have my back means I can always look forward.
Every day I'll be too tired to sweat and my bones will ache. Every day will provide me with the slight edge that I need to succeed. Champions are built every day.
And welcome back to the show. Let's go to basketball now and talk women's basketball. Colette Cole is the assistant coach at EKU that joins us today. Big win on Saturday over Morehead State, a team that beat you by 26. There, you come back and make a 33-point turnaround and win by 7. Impressive win and a needed win.
Yeah, very much so. You know, the game at Morehead, they're a really good team, first of all. You don't show up to play, they can beat anybody by 20 plus. But, you know, we struggled. We had been off for a week the first time we played them, so a little out of sync. And then, you know, they hit some shots, so then we kind of got down a little bit. But came back on this last game and definitely made the turnaround. Had some people step up, had some big minutes.
21 points and 9 rebounds from Shavante Naylor.
Yeah, a huge game from Shavante. You know, I don't put any pressure on her, but we kind of expect that from her. Yeah. You know, so when she gives us that, that's definitely great. And then obviously you had Mariah Massengill, point guard. She shot the ball really well. I think she was like 4 from 5 from the 3-point line or something like that. And also had 9 rebounds, smallest person on the floor. So when you get that, which isn't expected necessarily, right. It's great. So that definitely helps us out.
And the tallest young lady on the court, yeah. Madison Wood, ends up with 10 rebounds.
She did. She had 10 rebounds. She didn't have any points, but then defensively she was really big too because, you know, she just alters a lot of shots and people can't get clean looks on their drives, which helps our guards out a little bit. So yeah, she had some big minutes for us.
And
for
Morehead
sure.
State only shoots 33%. That was impressive too. The defense really helped you.
It did. And like I said, you know, they're really aggressive. You know, they get to the rim and all that. You got some great kids. You know, Crockett is probably one of the best pull-up shooters, I think, in the league. And she, like I said, she just didn't get any clean looks. You know, you had Alexis Cooper and Shavante, and then, you know, also if she did get past them, you have 6'3" Madison waiting for you, you know, in the paint. So yeah, we, as a unit, we did a really great job.
And hit foul shots down the stretch when they tried to make a comeback. In the fourth quarter, you're 11 of 12 from the foul line while struggling from the field.
Yes. You know, free throws is the key to the game, especially in a close game. Whoever hits their free throws down the stretch, that's who's going to win. And, you know, we've struggled a little bit, not shooting a great percentage as a team, but we definitely hit those when we needed them the most against Morehead, so it was good.
Speaking of the OVC race, there's 12 teams, 8 make the tournament, and there's no buys on the women's side. So you get in the top 8, you're in the tournament. Right now, you look at it, there are 3 teams, you're one of them, at 4th through 6th, 3 more teams just a half game behind. So there's 6 teams basically right now fighting for 5 spots. Somebody on the bubble is going to be busted, and you don't want it to be EKU. So you just got to take care of business in these last 4.
Yeah, I mean, the women's side, I mean, obviously you have Belmont. They haven't lost in conference play, but they've had some close calls. But it's really even, you know, like anybody I think can beat anybody on a given day. You know, it's just who comes out, you know, more intense and makes, you know, the sacrifice on the defensive end. That's going to be the key to it. Like you said, you know, there's 6 teams that have 6 wins right now. I know we're 6-6. We haven't played, you know, that 7th game where a lot of teams are sitting at 6 and 7. But yeah, it's still anybody's ball game. So we're still trying to just, you know, crack that bubble and get it to the tournament.
And so on you go to the next game, which is Belmont, and they're very good inside and out, so it'll be a challenge on Wednesday.
Yeah, they're tough. You know, I think they just clinched the OVC regular season. I don't, you know, at this point, no one can catch them. But still, like I said, they come at you from all angles. You know, you have, you know, McCabe and Thompson in the post, or not only on the block, but, you know, 10, 15 feet. They shoot the ball really well. So if you help to the post, then you got, you know, Darby Maggard and Kylie Smith is spotting up waiting for the 3. And I looked at it today, and Maggard is shooting 50% from the 3-point line for the season. Wow. And she takes a lot of attempts, so it's not like she's 2 for 4, you know. So with that, it's like you can kind of pick your poison. So you're looking at, you know, contain, one-on-one, man-to-man, and you know, everybody do their job. And I think we have a shot. Because on the other end, it's the same way with them. You know, they don't necessarily do anything fancy defensively, you know, matching up wise. They just try to keep you in front, contest the shot, box out, and they're just really fundamental, I guess, which makes them pretty tough.
Should be a fun game. We'll see EKU hosting Belmont on Wednesday, 7 o'clock. The broadcast, of course, on EKUsports.com, OVC Digital, and on WEKY 1340 AM. And then the women, like the men, will be in Nashville on Saturday. All right, we've talked baseball and basketball. Up next, we'll get the bats back out to talk softball as Inside EKU Sports continues.
Coming to the lunch meeting, Ned?
Forgot the reports in the car. Oh, Kevin's lunch. That's the 5th time this week. Freaking fast.
I forgot my lunch again.
Jimmy John's.
10 seconds to go. Harper coming forward. Moves in top of the key. 6 seconds to go. The three.
EKU softball was 37-17 last year, and sevens are wild because they'll play their first 27 games on the road this year. Jane Worthington is the head coach. Jane, you've been the head coach all 25 years of the program. I counted it up. When you start Friday, game 1,278. I know you got to be raring to go.
Yeah, we're absolutely. First off, I can't believe it's been that long because it just seems like yesterday when we came in and started the program. But it's been a while. Most of the OVC started this past week, and we trying to save some money. Don't start until this coming week.
And you play these games where there's round robin action at venues, and so 5 in Charleston. What are you looking for from your team? You only have 4 seniors. You're young. 12 of your 19 players in your roster are freshmen or sophomores. So where are the question marks, and where do you think you'll be really good this year early?
Well, I think the question marks are we lost 3 key kids, 3 key players. Haley Flynn, the pitcher, was lights out. She had multiple strikeouts every game. Sarah Fobbs, who's an outfielder, Kayla Joyce, an outfielder, and all 3 of those were just very, very good leaders. So what we're looking for right now is the freshmen. We have a couple of freshman pitchers, Molly Pollock and Ashton Martin, and I'm hoping one of those can help relieve some of the pressure that Flynn took off of us. And then we need some leadership from this group.
What about offensively? Do you feel good offensively? Is it more of a defensive and pitching concern heading into this season?
I think it's just the unknowns right now. Offensively, we should be able to swing it. We should be able to make contact with a few of them going out. Our infield, they'll all be returners, so that's a good sign. The outfield will all be brand new. So we'll get out there and see what they can do.
Renovated and much improved Gertrude Hood Field. It's underway. That's why you're starting late at home. You got to be excited about the facility upgrades and how it will help the program, and it'll be a good fan experience as well.
Absolutely. We'd practice off campus all year if it meant that we were getting the kind of facility that we're getting this year. I can't thank the administration enough for the improvements that we have. That field has been basically the same since I've been here, except for the few little improvements that we've been able to make. But this is like a whole new thing. This is like, it'll probably be the best field, the best stadium in the conference.
And what's so exciting about it is you're going to christen it on March 22nd against Kentucky, an SEC team coming to Richmond. That'll be a big day on the calendar.
Absolutely. We're going to try to get as many fans there as we can. Kentucky, we played them this fall. We gave them a good game. I think they beat us by 1. Why not have one of the top 10 teams in the country to open up with, especially somebody that's up the road that everybody's familiar with?
Yeah, I'm excited. I love to watch softball. I come over a lot. It's a fun, fast-paced game, isn't it? And I think it's fan-friendly.
It is. It's quick. We don't have time to bobble the ball because it does move so quickly. The corners have to play in tight, which is, I think, kind of scary, but they can handle it. The fans are on top of the game so that they actually get a front row seat no matter where they're sitting. It's fun to watch.
All right, Jane, good luck this season beginning in Charleston.
All right, thank you.
Jane Worthington, the head coach of the softball team here at EKU. Now, again, the season starts Friday, February 17th in Charleston, South Carolina at the Wyndham Garden Cougar Classic, where the Colonels are going to face Winthrop, the College of Charleston, University of Illinois, Chicago, Lipscomb, and Monmouth during their 3-day stay. And the Colonels this season face 6 NCAA tournament teams for a total of 9 games during the season, including that showdown that we mentioned with UK in Richmond to inaugurate the new stadium. Here's a look at some of the featured games this season. At home, the Colonels will welcome UK, the reigning OBC champions, Jacksonville State and Western Kentucky. Featured road games include Miami of Ohio, Oklahoma State, and Tennessee. And we remind you to keep up with the Colonels all season long at EKUsports.com, on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. That does it for another edition of Inside EKU Sports. We'll see you again next week. Inside EKU Sports, brought to you by Jimmy John's. Order Jimmy John's sandwich delivery today. Jimmy John's, freaky fast, freaky fresh.